In this lecture, we'll create a fog-like effect using a particle system. At the moment when we play our game, you can actually just see all of the obstacles being... Okay, that bench just took off, didn't it? I was trying to say that you can actually see the obstacles being spawned in our game. I think a fog-like effect to hide those obstacles from being spawned in would look pretty cool. Let's go ahead and in our hierarchy, just click this little plus button and create a particle system. So effects and particle system. And we can just call this our fog volume. And a bit of a personal preference, but I actually like to set up the render module first, just so we can get the actual type of particle we're working with set first. So just like before with our other renderer dropdown, we actually need to just replace this material here. Well, in the GDTV assets folder, I've got an images folder, and inside here, next to this long triangle that we actually used before, I've got this particle cloud system. Now I am just noticing, I don't know why I named it particle cloud white. I think I kind of forgot to rename that before I gave it to you all. That being said, let's actually just go ahead and create a material using this PNG image. So let's pop over to our material folder and actually just right click and create a new material. Let's just call this our fog particle. I believe before when we created the triangle particle, we actually just created a shader particle and unlit. But for the sake of actually just learning that a couple different shaders will still work in a URP project, let's just actually create this as a URP particle. So selecting the shader dropdown, let's go to Universal Render Pipeline, Particles, and click Unlit. Again, just as a reminder, unlit just means it's not going to be affected by any light in our game. Let's go ahead and click this base map field here and just make sure we select the particle cloud PNG image. Next, we just want to change the surface type so we can actually properly see it from opaque to transparent. And before we tweak anything else, we can just go ahead and add this particle to our fog volume. So with our fog volume selected, all the way back down to the renderer module, just drag this particle in. Now that we actually have this fog particle being created, let's kind of situate it roughly where we want it in our game. We can actually just reset the transform entirely to 0, 0, 0. And then I just kind of want to adjust this around, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 Unity units ahead of our player. Maybe somewhere even around 35-ish, let's say for now. Just so we can roughly get it in place on our bridge so we can actually hide the obstacles spawning. So we may actually need to change the position of our obstacle spawner as well. With that in roughly the right place, we're going to actually start to want to modify some of these modules. Let's start by modifying the shape module since I think it's the most important one. Let's change our shape from cone to something like, I think it's called square. There we go, box. So we just want a 3D box. And even though my scene view is kind of small here, you can actually kind of see our player is just right here by where we can actually see this camera gizmo starting. So here on the shape dropdown, we probably want to change our scale properties to something like 100 on the X, probably something like 50 on the Y, and maybe let's just try something like 30 on the Z. Even that looks a little bit too big, maybe 100 by 50 by 20 to start. Not a bad start, but we can actually see these particles are all just moving in one direction. We just kind of want them scattering throughout with some sort of randomized direction. So here on this shape module, scrolling down just a little bit, you can actually change this randomized direction to a value of in between 0 to 1. We can ramp that all the way just up to 1, so each individual particle is just automatically assigned a random value for its direction right when the particle spawns in. And there you go, not half bad. It almost actually kind of looks like a particle effect coming from like the top of the volcano or something like that. It almost kind of looks like ash coming from the volcano in the background. But let's actually change the size of each individual particle to be something significantly bigger. So scrolling all the way up to the very top module, we can actually change our start size from something like 1 to a random between two constants. So clicking this little triangle drop down here on the right, let's change this to a random between two constants. Let's change this to something like 8 to 15. And we're going to get actually a much bigger particle effect. And to really go overboard on actually kind of getting this fog effect to really just be full in our vision, and let's actually change our rate over time to 10 to something like 500. Let's just see what that looks like. And there you go. We've kind of got a super duper messy sort of fog volume. At the moment, we kind of also have this unnatural flickering. Well, that's just because each individual particle is never actually really fading in or out. Let's adjust that by toggling on our color over lifetime module. Click the color property, and then we can actually just change the alpha transparency at the beginning and at the end. So clicking in this very top left little triangle here, we can actually just change its alpha all the way to 0. Click here at the very top, roughly towards the center, change its location to immediately 50%, change its alpha transparency all the way back up to the very top, and then once again just fade it out. So clicking this top right triangle, change its alpha transparency all the way back to 0. So that way over each individual particle's lifetime, when they're being created, they're going to just kind of fade in and fade out. There we go, kind of eliminating a lot of that flickering. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to my top module and change my duration to 6 and my start lifetime to 3, hopefully giving us a bit more consistent effect in our particle system. But go ahead and have a think about why these particles might appear dark in our game view and light in our scene view. In our scene view, that's because we actually ticked off things like our skybox, fog, and post-processing. I don't actually think post-processing would make much of a difference as far as our particle system is concerned. However, fog will. Now that we have our custom fog created as a particle system in our game view, we want to navigate back over to lighting, go to the environment tab, and then we can actually just turn off fog entirely. Now you probably could just keep it on, maybe keep the density just extremely low. At the moment we have it set at 0.02, maybe even something like 0.005, maybe somewhere around there might look nice. But I think for the effect that I'm looking for, I just kind of want my clouds to be sort of a super white mist. So I'm actually just going to toggle off fog entirely. Before we go any further, let's actually just try this out in our game view. So one more time before we do that, let's just go back to our fog volume, go back to our inspector, and I'm just going to tack on pre-warm just to make sure this fog is automatically turned on at the beginning of the game. Then it's going to look something like this. Okay, let's go ahead and hit play and see what this looks like. Yeah, you know what? Not a bad start, but there's definitely room for improvement. I do, however, just really like that it's actually hiding the obstacles being instantiated in. With that, I'd like to welcome you to this lecture's challenge. Go ahead and adjust your particle system modules and properties to create a fog-like effect that you're looking for. Something that you can be satisfied with after just tinkering around with some of these settings. Now I've got a few more tips and tricks up my sleeve, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to tinker around with things on your own before I go ahead and show you my end product. So pause the video, give it your best effort, and I'll see you back here shortly. Welcome back. Even though each individual particle is kind of spawning in and spawning out due to the alpha transparency, you can see that each individual particle is exactly the same. So I think we can improve on that by actually giving it some sort of start rotation. So I'm actually going to navigate over to our start rotation, and in this little triangle dropdown, click curve. With this curve field selected, you should be able to actually click this curve and then change its property value. Now, I will admit, I'm actually having a bit of a bug in my Unity editor. I feel like it might be due to the resolution that I'm recording on. So you should be able to actually click this field here and modify the actual curve value. However, if for whatever reason you actually can't, like myself at the moment, you can actually click this little Open Editor tab and it will actually pop out this entire other particle effect window. I'm just going to actually maximize this window so I can see all these drop downs properly. Now I can actually click these fields. So I'm going to actually click this start rotation value here, and any of these would work just fine. It probably doesn't actually matter much, but I'm just going to click this one here just to kind of have a nice natural curve to vary my start rotation. While I'm here and before I navigate out of this window, I'm going to also go ahead and scroll down and find my rotation over lifetime module. I'll go ahead and tick that on and do the same. Find this same triangle drop down and select curve. Go ahead and click this field, and once again, I can now change this property. Again, it probably won't actually matter much as far as the end effect is concerned, so I'll just actually click the one at the end here, just to kind of have this natural curve on my rotation over lifetime module. Hey there, Steven here from the not so distant future. I noticed when I was editing the video, you can actually see here at the top, I'm modifying my start rotation and not my angular velocity curve underneath my rotation over lifetime. I think that's just because I clicked somewhere twice and it actually toggled away. You'll just want to make sure you're modifying the angular velocity curve underneath your rotation over lifetime module. So you'll see when I actually hop back into the project, my particles are actually rotating a little bit just too quickly. We'll modify that a little bit later on. With that situated, I'll go ahead and close this window. I think I even have my overall particle a little bit too opaque. So even though we've changed the start color over lifetime, I can actually just change its core start color here by modifying this field here. And I'm just going to drop down the alpha transparency, probably to something around there for now. I'd like to modify my shape even just a tad further. If you click your Cinemachine camera, I think I have my max vertical FOV set to 85. So let's just actually kind of see what that looks like when I'm all the way zoomed out. Yeah, I think I could actually just make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and over to my fog volume, increase its overall size on my shape property. Let's just actually get ridiculous and do something like 200 by, let's try 80, and then actually even make my Z value a little bit thicker, probably somewhere around 30, giving me a little bit more dissipation or more distance in between each particle. Now that I have my box much bigger, let's actually change my rate over time to something maybe about twice as much. Let's try 1000. If you're wondering why my particle system is kind of fading in and out every 3 seconds, I think it's just because the max amount of our particles in our system is kind of bottlenecking. So with a duration of 6 seconds, with a start lifetime of 3 seconds, each individual particle is lasting 3 seconds, but our emission rate over time is actually set so high that it's actually bottlenecking at this max particles value here. So if we increase this to say something like, let's try 5,000. So even though our rate over time is set to 1,000, which I believe is the number of particles spawned every second, we're never actually hitting a total amount of 5,000 max particles. So now we just have this nice consistent particle effect. And I think this is actually already looking quite nice. But just a little bit of a trick up my sleeve. Let's go ahead and navigate over to our fog particle material. I think if I toggle on just a little bit of emission with my overall bloom value on my global volume, I can kind of brighten this up in a way that I think will look quite nice. So emission, HDR value, I'm going to change this to completely white, and then just actually bring the intensity down just a little bit. I don't need anything too overwhelming. Yeah, you know what? I think that actually looks quite nice. It kind of looks a little bit blown out when I'm not playing the game, but let's actually see what that looks like when I play the game. Yeah, there you go. Not half bad. But I think I want to just try one more thing before we move on. I kind of want to just try duplicating this entire fog volume, and I'm going to also put it just kind of below the bridge. So let's actually rotate this entire thing by 90 degrees. And let's try putting this underneath the player, kind of underneath the bridge. So probably somewhere around there or so, kind of just drag it down, have it just completely underneath the player. We don't really actually need to see it too much. I just kind of want it below the bridge. We probably don't need it as thick. So maybe changing my emission to half of what it currently is. Yeah, something around there. And you know what? I'm noticing my particles are actually rotating a little bit too quickly. Let's go ahead and inspect that. It doesn't actually look like my angular velocity curve got changed at all. Not sure how that happened. Let's go ahead and open up my editor project window. And yeah, let's go ahead and try to modify this one more time. Let's make sure my angular velocity is selected, and I'll just actually click this one over here. I want the rotation dropping down pretty quickly on my angular velocity. And before I forget, let's actually do it on the fog volume down below since we didn't actually prefab it. So we'll go ahead and change that on both angular velocity, and once again, just sloping down. All right, yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. Yeah, you know what? I think this actually looks really quite nice. What we've created is not to be confused with something like volumetric fog. That would actually be implementing some sort of shader effect so that you can actually have the light shine through the fog and whatnot. You could even potentially pop over to the Unity asset store. I think there are some nice free volumetric fog assets that you could try putting in this project. I could, of course, keep tinkering around with this for hours, I'm sure, but I'm satisfied with my overall effect for now. When you're satisfied with yours and you're ready to move on, I'll see you on the next lecture.